So good morning, professionals. Thank you for having me today. It's an honor to be amongst you today. So just to add on the introduction from Truman. So as he indicated, my name is Sipho Hlongwane. So I have, I think, decent number of years in the profession, which is procurement and supply. He also mentioned that I've also worked with some of the global brands which are located locally. That will include your SAPIs, your engine, and currently I'm with Richards Bay Minerals, which is owned by Rio Tinto, one
Oh,
of
yes.
the biggest global mines in the world. So I've been a member with SIPS from 2011. So from 2011 up until now for my MCIPS, starting from 2013 and completed in 2015. So what has SIPS done for me in terms of my career, my journey in terms of procurement? So basically, SIPS has transformed my mindset from the traditional buying ways of which are perceived out there in the industry. Even with most companies, still there are perceptions about us which are not really true. But I think it's up to us as professionals to sell a full procurement value proposition to the businesses that we serve. So
Absolutely.
as you can see, yes, Truman?
No, sorry, you can proceed. I was just concurring with you, Sipho.
Yes, so I mean, I've the first slide that I have here shows some of the perceptions about us as professionals. As you can see, most of our procurement structures still fall under a CFO or a financial director, and the only thing that they see from us is a cost saving soldiers. So obviously, I mean, our role, our main focus is to make sure that we get savings. We negotiate, we put suppliers on our corners, and there's blood on the floor. But I can tell you, I mean, there's more to it than that. So I'm gonna just touch on full procurement value proposition, which I believe is what all of us as professionals in the field need to sell to the businesses where we're serving. Because if you look at that, then we also earn ourselves the seats at the executive levels because we're able to impact on the bottom line of the business, the profitability of the business, and the sustainability of the business. So I'm going to just touch on a key four elements when it comes to value propositions, procurement value propositions. So value proposition, what do I mean by that? I mean, by value proposition, it's making sure that the money that we spend for the business is worth it. So it's not about cost reduction only, it's about looking at the whole package. So one of the critical things when it comes to value proposition is supply assurance. I mean, I can tell you, you can negotiate the best price out there, but if there is no supply of the product that you're buying, then price doesn't matter. The cost savings that you've achieved, they don't really matter. So one of the main things that are important in our field is to make sure that there is sustainable supply and there's assurance in terms of that supply, which are the key things that we always need to push for when we're negotiating, even in a short to medium term arrangement with our suppliers. Second thing that I believe is very crucial for us as leaders in the field is the purchase price reduction. So now we're not just talking cost saving, pushing suppliers to the corner, is to make sure that we understand the industries that we procure from. We understand those markets, and if you understand those markets, then you are able to negotiate a fair price with the suppliers. So it's critical that we understand the market where we're buying from. We're not horse trading. Even when we're sitting across our suppliers in the negotiation table, we're able to deliver facts, and from those facts, that's when we are able to agree on a fair price. That's the second element, which I believe is quite important. And the third one is to move away from the price of the item, is to look at the total cost of ownership. Because if you're buying fuel, that's not the fuel price is not the main price. You have to look at the whole supply chain that makes up that product coming to my sites and that product being disposed from sites after usage or after it has reached its lifespan. So when you're talking about total cost of ownership, you're talking about the price of the item that you buy. You're talking about the transportation of the item, the handling of that item, and offloading of that item in your site, and also the maintenance that comes with having that item in your site. And then lastly, it's the cost of disposing it after it has reached its lifespan, which is quite important. So those are the things that we need to look at as the professionals in the field. And another thing which is quite important is demand management, which is very much ignored. But I can tell you, when you procure stuff for your end users, your end customers, I can tell you they don't care about how they use it. All they want is for it to be there. But it is up to us as procurement professionals to be close to our end users and also educate them about the importance of demand management. Because if you're managing their demand closely, you understand the ratio of the products that you've procured, the ratio of it going into the final product, and you are able to work with your end users in order to make sure that there is no wastage in the system. Demand is well calculated. You don't buy things that you don't need. You buy what is required. Obviously, making sure that you also cover you also include your buffer stock. So demand management is important. It eliminates waste. It makes sure that what we buy what we need, and we buy what we need for that period that we need it for. And I think one last point, which is very important, I think this one we tend to neglect it as the professionals in the field, is to make use of our suppliers for innovation, coming up with new products that are out there. I can tell you, suppliers are hungry for us to come to their premises, have a look at what they're trialing and all of that. And as professionals, if we've created a relationship with a supplier, we need to tap on those expertise that they have. By doing that, you're able to present you're able to present alternative products to the business that you're serving under, and you're able to influence the bottom line, because you can shift from a very expensive product which you've been buying for years to a very cost-effective one, which might also improve your inputs in terms of the products that you're producing as the business. So value proposition talks to all these things. It's not only talking about cost reduction. So that's my share for today, that I think as professionals, we need to move away from the traditional way of doing things and make sure that we bang for the buck. So move away from being penny wise and pound foolish, because I think at the moment a lot of our professionals are still penny wise and pound foolish. I think we need to look at the bigger picture, and looking at the bigger picture, it talks to the procurement value proposition, and that's when we sell procurement to the business that we serve, and that's when we earn our seats at the top level of the business and also influencing the bottom line of the business. So that's my safety share for today. That's my procurement share for today, which I believe will add value as it has added value into my life. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Sipho. That was a mouthful indeed, and you've just covered something very important that I was going to ask. So, in terms of what we can do as supply chain professionals to earn that sort of recognition, so that we can also have a voice, at the boardroom. So I think you've really exceeded the expectations for our audience, and yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything on the last slide that we are going to be talking about just as we close.
No, just to add, Truman. I mean, there's nothing on the last slide. I think this is the last slide. But there are some of the leaders out there in procurement locally who have earned themselves the seats at the executive level, where they report to CEOs, and I applaud guys like that. I mean, we have the likes of I'm not selling people here, but I'm just making an example of professionals who I admire, who I follow.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, we have the likes of Nets Mailani. Nets Mailani report directly to a CEO at SAPI. He's a procurement director there. I mean, we have Russell Peters. Russell Peters was also a CPO at Telkom, reporting directly to a CEO. He also progressed to being a CEO of another company when he resigned from that role. We have the likes of Karen. I can't remember her name. Karen, she used to be a CPO at APSA. She also moved to Anglo. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2014, but she made a contribution to the field. So those leaders, they were preaching the same thing, and they were able to make a mark, contribute to the bottom line of the the businesses where they serve. So that's my the last bit on this presentation, Truman.
Wow, thank you so much, leader, for your insights on that. And this is just South Africa, everybody, that we're talking about. You know, so if we're to really explore the influence of procurement leaders at a global level, you'd really, you know, realize that there's actually a lot of strides that we've made as a profession through the professionals that are serving at those positions at executive level, and even, you know, at senior management level, and even below that. There's a lot that we can talk about. But for the sake of time, Sipho, thank you so much for your time today and sharing with us, you know, in terms of your background, your contribution to the profession, and what you continue doing. And we really, you know, appreciate people like yourselves, which is the reason why, as the Supply Chain Academy, we've strategically partnered with professionals that are in the industry or that have been in the industry, like yourself, who are making progress, you know, in everything that they are doing, and also raising the flag high to represent us well. So with those words, thank you so much, and have a lovely day ahead until